你现在38岁，如果现在来一个28岁的跟你谈，你觉得你能接受吗？
完全能接受。
I'm already 38 years old this year. To be honest, if a 28-year-old man showed up and wanted to date me, I think I could totally accept that. As for a 25-year-old guy, I think it might not work out. The reason is that I feel 25-year-old men are usually a bit immature. They rely more on their appearance, while I care more about how we feel being together. Although life is lived for oneself, not for others, I still care about what others think. People might feel that a 38-year-old me walking with a 25-year-old boyfriend on the street doesn't seem like a good match. So if the man is 28 years old, there's no problem. I feel I can accept that, but if he's 25, I'd hesitate. Most 25-year-old guys have just graduated from school and have only been working for about a year or just entered society. They haven't experienced the trials of life or felt the beatings from society. In terms of appearance and behavior, they often still come across as quite immature. I think a man needs to be in society for at least 2 to 3 years, maybe even 5, to become more mature. So a 28-year-old man might be okay, but a 25-year-old is too immature and lacks social experience. For me, they are still little kids. Many friends ask me, if a 38-year-old like me were to walk down the street with a 28-year-old kid, would I feel any pressure? Would I worry about people saying I look old? Honestly, I don't have those concerns. However, I have a 42-year-old female friend who seems to have such worries. She has met quite a few young men on dating platforms, some only 27 or 28 years old, and even just over 30. They reach out to her, but my friend never responds. In her eyes, men under 35 are all little kids. She always feels they are too immature and that they have nothing in common with her. She can only accept men who are 2 or 3 years younger than her. Any younger, and she won't even consider it. But my thinking is very different from hers, because I'm younger than her. I'm only 38 this year, while she is already 42. As for me, I almost never consider men my age or older. Right now, I'm only willing to date men between the ages of 28 and 35. Even men who are 1 or 2 years older than me, I don't like them. I believe older men, though they may have more steady minds, also tend to be more scheming, and I worry they might use this scheming against me.
本来之前还觉得想谈个姐弟恋什么的。
I'm 35 years old this year. I used to be quite into the idea of dating younger men, thinking that it could bring some freshness and opportunities to my life. I even thought it might be a good option for us older single women to try. However, today I accidentally came across a story about an older woman dating a younger man, and it completely changed my perspective. This woman dated a guy who was 9 years younger than her. At the beginning, this guy treated her really well, constantly showering her with sweet words. Not only did he call her sister, but he often called her baby, making her feel cherished and loved. But to her dismay, after they broke up, the guy's attitude did a complete 180. Behind her back, he started calling her names like Indian old dove, mocking her for being older. He even went from complimenting her scent during their relationship, saying she smelled nice, to later claiming she had an old person smell after they broke up. After reading this woman's experience, my thoughts on dating younger men were instantly shattered. I couldn't help but feel like I should back out of this idea. Thinking about it more, I realized it might be safer to slowly find someone a bit older. At least, even if we break up, there might still be some dignity left. I mean, I'd rather be called old baby than be ridiculed as an Indian old dove.
你们是真的不晓得有一些大龄女青年她们心里是怎么想的。
I am completely speechless when it comes to these older leftover women. Young guys, hurry up and find a partner, or else you really won't know what some of these older women are thinking deep down. Today, I saw a chat record of an older leftover woman in a group, and it made me laugh so hard. First, take a look at the picture. The story goes like this. A young guy in the group said he only likes young and beautiful girls, but the older leftover woman in the group joked back. She said that men generally have a shorter lifespan than women, so if they want to grow old together, men should find a woman older than themselves. What she meant was that since men have shorter lifespans, they should find someone a few years older so that they can walk through the last phase of life together. You can't even imagine that these older ladies still harbor a younger brother dream. They fantasize about being with a younger man, especially pushing the idea of the lifespan theory, spreading the word that men should choose women who are older than themselves. This logic is just genius. I just want to ask everyone, what do you think? Do you agree with this idea? Personally, I think there aren't many guys who would be willing to accept this older woman-younger man relationship. These older leftover women are just too funny.
女生啊，还存在一个侥幸心理。
Many older single women have a sense of luck, believing that if they cannot find a partner of the same age to marry, they can consider dating younger men. While this idea is not entirely unfeasible, there are several practical issues to consider. First, you must look significantly younger than your peers in order to attract younger men. Second, maintaining this youthful image requires additional effort and financial investment, which means you need to continuously work hard, earn money, and manage many trivial matters in life. Moreover, younger men are often not in a hurry to get married, so you still have to face the pressure and anxiety that come with age. Even if you do get married, as time passes and you enter middle age, you may find yourself competing with much younger and more attractive women. Have you fully considered these potential problems and challenges?
在重庆的30多岁以上还未婚的单身的姐妹们
Is the age gap relationship really that attractive? For single women in their 30s who are still unmarried, if your annual income exceeds $200,000 and you look significantly younger than your peers, consider broadening your options when searching for a partner. Don't limit yourself to men who are older or of the same age as you. Your requirements might include having a car, a house, a successful career, and abilities that exceed your own. In this case, the pool of unmarried men may be quite small. Especially when it comes to divorced men with children, are you willing to take on the role of a stepmother? Moreover, these men often look towards unmarried young women under 30. Compared to these younger girls, you may not have a significant advantage. Therefore, rather than seeking out male peers who may not meet your standards in various aspects, why not consider trying to date younger men under 30? Younger men have many advantages. They are youthful, handsome, and may even have decent financial means. While they might not spend a lot of money on you, their energy can bring you vitality and joy. The sweet words from younger boys should not be overlooked either. When you face difficulties, they can offer emotional support and comfort, making you feel appreciated with phrases like, "Sister, you're amazing. It's not your fault." In similar situations, male peers might view you as being overly sensitive and even add to your burdens. As an independent woman, both intellectually and financially, your emotions are usually stable, and younger men face less financial pressure when they are with you, reducing the potential for conflicts. So, after considering this analysis, do you think age gap relationships have an appeal for older single women? Is this a new path worth exploring?
我跟你们说，要谈就谈姐弟恋。
If older women, especially those over 30, want to start a relationship, dating younger men is truly a great option. Seriously, younger men dating older women has become quite popular recently. Do you know why? There's a reason behind it, especially for women over 30 or those who are divorced and still single. Why, you ask? Think about it carefully. If a man is in his 30s or 40s and still unmarried, he's often quite unappealing. And if a man of that age is still single, there are probably many things about him that you simply can't accept. For example, I've encountered some men in their 30s who not only are older, but also don't even want to have a proper conversation with you, feeling that chatting is a waste of time and energy, and don't even think about meeting up. They're so stingy that they won't even pay for a meal, expecting you to foot the bill. Worse yet, they're always thinking about what might happen on the first date, like they're just trying to take advantage of you without offering anything in return. They provide no emotional support and no material effort, completely focused on what they can get from you. But when you date younger men, it's a whole different story. They are patient, willing to chat, and provide emotional support. When you meet up, they not only treat you to dinner but sometimes even bring small gifts, creating little surprises. As for what might happen later, they fully respect your wishes and don't push you into anything. So, when it comes to dating, younger men are really a great choice. They not only give you emotional value but also offer material gestures. Plus, younger men are easier on the eyes. They're youthful and energetic. Who doesn't like fresh, vibrant energy? Don't you think? As for whether it will lead to something long-term, that doesn't really matter. Even with older men, the outcome isn't guaranteed. So, I believe you should focus more on the process rather than the result. As long as the process brings you happiness, and you enjoy the feeling of being in love, that's enough. Personally, I really enjoy dating younger men. It feels like reliving my youth, giving me a sense of being in a school romance. When I'm with a younger guy, I feel younger, more energetic, and incredibly happy. I hope all my sisters out there can find happiness in dating younger men.
我也快30了，而我还年轻着嘞。
Recently, a lot has happened, and I feel completely exhausted. My boyfriend is still young, only 25 years old. He has a long road ahead of him and can definitely find someone more suitable for him. As for me, I'm about to turn 30 this year, and I'm not sure whether I should continue this relationship with him, given our age difference. What's been really frustrating lately is my mom. Initially, she said she wouldn't ask for a bride price, but then she suddenly brought it up again, causing chaos in my boyfriend's family. No one knows how to handle this situation. His parents are the kind of people who live frugally, saving wherever they can, and my boyfriend has been working tirelessly at the construction site, exhausting himself. This makes me feel really bad. It's an indescribable feeling. On top of that, there's been a lot going on at my workplace as well, and I've been so busy that I'm completely overwhelmed. My mood has hit rock bottom, and I've even had many negative thoughts. At one point, I even considered breaking up with my boyfriend. I thought that if I left him, his family's financial burden might be lighter. After all, he's younger than me, only 25 years old. I've always felt that he could find someone more suitable for him. As for me, I'm almost 30 years old, and I feel like I might not be the best choice for him. But looking back now, my thoughts were really confused, and I was just overthinking. Yesterday, my boyfriend specifically came from the city to see me, and when I saw how tired he looked, my heart ached in a way I can't describe. He didn't even have the appetite to eat when we went out, and that made me realize that my previous decision might have been wrong. By trying to break up, I've only added more pressure to him and his family. I thought about it all night, and I feel like I was overthinking things. I especially feel sorry for my boyfriend. Last night, I made up my mind that today I'll go to him and tell him that I want to get back together and that I won't bring up breaking up anymore. I don't want to see him so upset again. Especially after hearing that he recently hurt his leg while working at the construction site, I felt a deep pain that's hard to put into words. Truly, the feeling of heartache is indescribable. Right now, both of our families are in a tough situation. On one side, they're struggling to gather the bride price, and on the other, my mom is angry about the situation, and it's causing endless arguments at home. But I understand where my mom is coming from. Her intentions are good. She wants me to marry into a family with better financial conditions so that I won't have to suffer in the future. After all, my mom is from a second marriage, and life was really hard when she was with my dad. I saw those tough times with my own eyes. She just wants to make sure I don't follow the same path, but the way she's going about it puts a lot of pressure on me. Actually, my mom could have mentioned the bride price issue from the start, but she said no at first and then changed her mind later, which made things complicated and even affected our family's reputation and credibility. I understand my mom's good intentions, but sometimes it's really hard for me to stay calm, and our communication has become more and more difficult. But I plan to find some time to sit down with her and have a heart-to-heart conversation to see if we can resolve this issue. Now my boyfriend and his family are also trying to figure out a way to come up with the bride price. I'm much calmer than before, and I understand that they all want the best for me. My boyfriend's family hopes for a good life for me, and my mom is no different. This is really a cycle of mutual care. I truly hope everyone's life can get better. As for the wedding date, I think if my boyfriend's family really can't gather the bride price, it's okay for us to postpone the engagement. I'll give my boyfriend some time. It's not a big deal if he works hard for a few more years. Although I'm not young anymore, as long as my boyfriend is willing to put in the effort, I'm willing to wait for him. However, I'm not sure how my mom will feel about this, and I still need to talk with her to see if I can convince her to give up on the bride price.
We often see a lot of comments about older single women appearing online. Especially, some of these women express their dissatisfaction by saying things like, "Don't make fun of us. We can always date younger guys if we want." Such remarks are becoming increasingly popular on the internet. For instance, the phenomenon of older single women dating younger men has gained wide attention, with some even claiming that such relationships are much better than being with an older single man of a similar age. Indeed, if some older single women are somewhat attractive, many younger men are willing to date them. However, many people do not fully understand the true motives of these younger men. Perhaps they are merely curious or looking for a fresh experience, rather than having sincere feelings for these women. At the end of the day, these relationships are often for entertainment, and while these younger men enjoy the relationship, they may not take it seriously. As time goes on, Once the novelty wears off, these younger men may start feeling that these older women have a so-called old person smell or begin calling them names like Indian old pigeon, which causes them to lose interest. I can personally relate to this because I have interacted with some of these older women. When chatting with them, I could clearly sense a kind of old person smell. This is not my subjective imagination. It's a fact. Younger girls often emit a natural body fragrance that is impossible to imitate. As a result, many older single women drink the poisonous chicken soup, thinking they too can find a young, handsome, and wealthy partner. But reality is often quite different. Those successful women who do find younger boyfriends may be celebrities, and even though they're older, they still manage to date younger men, likely for show. The real situation is completely different. You have to understand, when you older single women criticize men for being short, ugly, or poor, aren't you being quite realistic? Do you think you're the only ones being realistic in this world? Men are often just as realistic. Men will also dislike the fact that you're older. This is why many older single women find themselves in difficult situations when it comes to relationships. Currently, the state of the matchmaking market shows that older single women make up a large proportion of it. But this doesn't mean they can't find a partner. As long as they adjust their mindset a little, are willing to accept reality, and are ready to become a good wife and mother who lives a practical life, there will be plenty of normal-minded men with matching values who would be willing to marry them. However, many older single women lack self-awareness. They want to date younger men, while also maintaining high standards for their potential partners, effectively setting limitations on themselves. If they don't change this mindset, they may spend their entire lives stuck in the quagmire of relationships. That said, we shouldn't completely deny their value. Everyone has their own shining points to some extent. The key is how they present themselves and enhance their self-worth. What are your thoughts on the phenomenon of older single women starting relationships with younger men? Feel free to leave a comment, as I'd love to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide you with better content. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.